Hey guys, Arctic Asian here. I want to draw a distinction this morning between two words, dysfunction and disease. And I had a good conversation with a patient yesterday pertaining to dysfunction because every day, right, your body is challenged with an abundance, a cacophony of environmental stressors, many of which were not around 150, 200 years ago, right? Our environment is, there's more pollutants in the air, far more pollutants in the water. Our food is laden with toxins, glyphosate, right, which is pesticides. So, our body has to contend with all these stressors, and that's just one category, right? You got your physical stressors, you have your biochemical, you have your mental, emotional stressors. And the best way to assess the health of a species is to assess their environment, meaning when you remove any species from their natural habitat, the likelihood is there's going to be an increased tendency and increased risk of all chronic degenerative diseases. Humans are no different. So dysfunction represents the body's attempt at daily adaptation, right? Every day it's adapting to something. We're not privy to that. Our conscious brain doesn't inform us that it's battling a cancer cell, that it's battling a virus, a bacteria, a chemical toxin, right? Your body doesn't present that to your conscious awareness because your conscious awareness is literally only about 10% of your brain activity every day is devoted to conscious activity. 90% of your brain activity is subconscious. So it's your body's working to keep your systems operational, functional, healthy, at some point, some degree of equilibrium. So dysfunction could be merely represented by things like, not sleeping great, energy's low, you got some digestive problems, brain fog, right? Some problems with mental acuity. And so oftentimes the problem is we're taught to ignore dysfunction. We're taught to ignore early signs that our body's just being challenged, but is having difficulty meeting the day-to-day challenges of life, right? Meaning the day-to-day stressors. And so if you don't honor that slow breakdown, your body's maybe asking you for some assistance. You don't get a headache because you lack aspirin, right? You don't have back pain because you bent over funny to tie your shoes, right? Your body is giving you some early signs, some early signals that, hey, we need some help. Please give us some tools so that we can better adapt to our environmental stressors. So that's dysfunction, right? Most of the time when people come into the office, they're somewhere on that scale of dysfunction. Either they've been, they're at the tail end of dysfunction. And by the way, when you hit the tail end of dysfunction, that's when the disease process begins, meaning, your body has now tried to adapt for months and years. You failed to give it the tools in order to help it adapt in a healthy manner. And so now your body has run out of ammunition. It's run out of what I call health reserve. And when you run out of health reserve, your resiliency tanks, your adaptability fails, and then your body is overwhelmed. And when it's overwhelmed and it can't meet the challenges, that's when bad things happen. Cancers, heart disease, right? Increased blood pressure, increased cholesterol. Those are signs of adaptation, right? It's not disease, right? It's your body trying to meet the day-to-day challenges of environmental stressors. So, unfortunately, we're conditioned to take pills, right? To not address the dysfunction, but merely alleviate and mask the symptom. And that is a surefire way to make sure that your body, is thrust into the disease state earlier than it should be, right? Because we should all be living, into our 80s, 90s in a healthful manner, not at 60, 65, diagnosed with multiple chronic diseases and on multiple medications, right? So critical to understand the differences, guys, between dysfunction and disease, and understand that early warning signs is your body's way of trying to tell you that, hey, we need some assistance, give us some healthy food. We need to sleep more. Go get adjustments, go get massages, get your butt off the couch and go exercise, right? This is how you give your body and you build your body with some tools for resiliency and adaptability. So hope that helps, guys. Dysfunction versus disease, it's critical to understand that distinction. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.